Hi everybody, this is Matthew Snyder from Responsive Ads, and I'm going to show you our V3.8.6 release. It is a accumulation of work that has been updated for August and September, so we have a lot of new updates here to show to you. First of all, when you arrive on your dashboard, remember you'll see here the new release notes, and you could actually open them up right here from this little envelope, as well as we do have a integrated Drift chat, so feel free to chat with us. The designers and producers that are online on the company will be visible here, so you can chat very quickly and answer some of your technical questions. So what I'd like to show you is the release notes here. So when you open up that folder, you'll see here we have all the release notes of what's available for the release. But I listed them all up here so I could go through them one by one. So let's just start out with our creative listing page here. As you can see, we have a new tile design. We've done this because we're going to be adding a lot of new features, and we restructured this so that we could start adding these icons across the top. So right now, as you can see, you could see the draft state, you could see where it came from, and then also you could see here is the ability to add it to the showcase. When you hover over the tile, you can actually edit, go into the creative and edit it, hit the preview, or the summary page is where you grab your add tags or your export files. And you can just open up the menu here, and you can see here you could save it as a template. You could actually go in and edit notes. I'll show you that in a minute. You could actually open up your analytics directly from the tile. You could duplicate the creative, you could archive, and then if you delete, it's in red, so that means that once you delete it, it's gone forever. So we recommend that if you have older creatives, please archive them. When you hover off, it closes up, and then as you can see at the bottom here, we've actually added, and let me close that up, and then we've added here the ability to leave notes. There's the creative ID as well as the date it was last saved, and you can go in here and leave your notes, or you can hover over this and you can actually change the title on the fly. You don't have to go into the creative of the summary page to change your title. So that's a nice quick feature if you want to change. A lot of our partners will use draft final for naming their creative to keep track of it in terms of the workflow. We've also have done the same thing with the templates. So as you can see here, we have all of the layout templates are kind of vanilla, which are the black and white here, and we've set it up so that you have your info modal that gives you information about the template, where it came from. In this case here, this happens to be a template from our partner Hindsight, as you can see. And we've added the community tab over here so that any of our partners now that want to share their templates with everyone, all the designers that access the tool will have the ability to do that. And this is going to be an ongoing feature that we're going to be evolving the whole community and bringing lots of templates into the platform. As you can see here, this shows the features. This takes you directly to the preview page, and then you have the similar menu where you can modify the template if it's your template or duplicate it, etc. Okay, so now let's go into the actual, the next thing I'd like to show is the showcase. So the actual showcase. So one of the new features that we've added to the showcase is the ability to create your own custom showcase. So if I hit manage here, I can actually go in, and you can see here I created an example, created a new showcase called Responsive Ads Showcase. So if I open up the Responsive Ads Showcase, so you can name it, and then you can see in this case here I'm only showing the templates. You can go into your showcase, edit it, and then you could set up creatives. You can go in and select the creatives that you would like to show in that showcase page. Now what's so great about this is a public page, so if you have members of your sales team that would like to have specific creative to share with clients, you could create your different custom showcase pages for your different members of the sales organization. So it's a very powerful new feature, and we're going to be doing a lot more advances into this whole showcase. It's part of our sales toolkit strategy, so that makes it easier to sell these high impact, beautiful ad creatives. So there we go. So the new create your custom showcase. So now let's jump into the editor. So first and foremost, what we've done is, because we've added our variant system, which you can see down here at the bottom, and if I just open that up, click on that, it pops open. As you can see here, we have 5 different, let me just zoom it into view here. So we have 5 different designs, complete design variants. So the ability to have different design variants and turn them on at different conditions and do A/B testing is something that we've been really working towards. So the whole improvement of performance with variants. Now with the variant system, as you can see here, it's fully fluid. So we've improved the performance quite significantly for all of the different layouts, optimizing the elements being delivered. And so as you can see here, we have our fully fluid design, and then you have all the different sizes that go with it, as well as then these completely different design variants. So we've been constantly improving the performance of the editor in terms of being able to design, upload. So that's a very critical feature. The other thing that we've done is the ability to, let me just shrink this down. So let me select the fonts. So if I select the fonts, the ability to shrink this down, and we've actually added a 1024 layout size, as you can see. So if you want to access this on a tablet, you could do so as well. So for very narrow 1024 screens, we've done that update. For the font system, we've actually made it so now that you can actually upload direct fonts. So if I click on upload fonts, you can see here you could actually upload standard fonts, the OTT, the TTF, the WOFF, etc. So you could just upload your standard fonts and it will support it, as well as web font kits. When you do upload those direct fonts, it's very important that you have a license. So we have you type in, I have a valid license to use those fonts. So you have to type that in to confirm you have a license, and this is stored in our database. So we know that you have the license, and then you can just upload those font files directly. So as you can see, and then when you actually look at it, if the font comes from different foundries, it will show those foundries. If it's a font that's unrecognizable, it'll just show up with the ResponsiveAds logo, as you can see here. And then we have the entire catalog of all of the Google fonts. So you will have the ability to upload other any of the fonts that you're using for your clients. So it's a very powerful new font system here. The other interesting new feature that we've added is what we call, so let me take you into another creative, is we've added device filtering. So as you can see here, and let me first show this actually on a page, on a demo page, so you can actually see what I mean by this, is that if I reload this, and let me just set up the format at the top of the page, as such. As you can see here, it says tap to play sound because it's on mobile. If I go to tablet, we've set this up to say tap to play sound because it's also touchscreen. And then if I go to desktop, as you can see, it should say click to play sound. So you could create different elements that turn on and off based on the device. And we've added a whole new suite of triggers. As you can see here, trigger system. So as the video is playing, I could click on this and control the sound with the actual trigger. And as you can see here, this is our masthead format, which is very good for publishers. The ability to have video, be able to click it, turn it on, and set up all these advanced triggers for what you need around the video. So a lot of improvements from that standpoint. So actually, let me just open up and show you. This is our open full page view. And as you can see, this can be shared with clients with this kind of masthead format. So we've done a lot of updates to the app canvas. This is a crossword puzzle ad that was done with one of our partners, as you can see here. And it's embedded, so it's embedded directly in from the partner, uploading the widget content. And as you could see, we added this feature to disable the content refresh on resize. So for instance, if I have it filled in like this on the desktop, and then I flip to another screen size, so you can control the widget on the resize. So it's a very nice new feature that we've added to that. We added the ability to keep so for instance, with the buttons that you might have visibility. So for instance, the sound button, if I go into the sound button, I want to keep, so when I flip from size to size, I want to keep that sound button on. So we've added this feature to keep visibility between resize. Sometimes you have a button that turns off when you hit the trigger, and then if the user flips from landscape to portrait, you want to keep it off, where it might be set to be on before the trigger. So being able to keep visibility based on different triggers, so another advanced feature we've added, as well as we've added the device targeting like I just mentioned. So in this case here, the device visibility is set all of them on by default, but if you only want the button to show up on desktop devices here or only on fallbacks, so as if I close this up, you'll see the devices that in red that this element will not show up on. So the sound button will not show up on, this is for mobile, so it won't show up on desktop. And then the sound button is set to, for desktop, it won't show up on tablet and mobile. So you have a very clear indication with red knowing that that button will not show up on those devices. So you can actually set a button specifically or an element specifically for devices. So another new advanced feature. The other is that for this kind of push down, as you can see here, we have the open state and the closed state. And you see where you don't want to serve the closed state, do not traffic. We've added a feature in here where if you go into the advanced settings, you could hide this from the deployment section. So when I go into the deployment page, as such, you see it only shows the one that's getting trafficked. So it doesn't confuse the ad ops as to having multiple tags set up in here. So a lot of the publishers that are pushing these kind of push downs or light boxes, it doesn't show only the tags that are needed. You can actually set that up. So it's a little bit of a UI upgrade. We've also added dynamic tagging, so you can actually set up the tags so that you can have them traffic one tag and then just click and just change the URL at the end for testing. It makes it easier for testing. This is an advanced feature. If you want to use this, please let us know and we'll provide additional tutorials for your needs around the dynamic tagging. We've also added the ability to duplicate a deployment. So up until now, if you had a redo of deployment, you had to copy it. So now we've added the ability to duplicate it. So if you just click duplication, as such, it'll pop up. It'll say duplicate creative. You can keep the click-through URL or change it as you need. And then when you save it, it will actually save it as a additional right here, as you can see. So you can have that additional tags. So we've actually upgraded our developer console. So if you click on the icon here, as you can see, we now have a developer console that gives you the ability, this is actually Darkula, but you could have a much more advanced developer console, handling a lot more, and we'll have a separate tutorial in our specs around the developer console, but we've completely upgraded developer console so you could actually see the results in the editor directly when you are doing development. So for developers, this is a big upgrade. And lastly, if I take you to our preview page, you can see here we've added all the latest devices. So we will be doing this pretty much on a monthly or quarterly basis, keep you with the latest devices that you would need to be able to see. So in a nutshell, that is all of the features. If you have any questions, you can contact us at support@ResponsiveAds. We'll be happy to walk through and share anything that you need. And we also have our support hub. So again, if you go to you can click here for our support hub or chat with us if you have any questions. And as well as we have, we'll be growing with a lot more overall tutorials. So thank you very much and have a great day.